The 2024 Mitsubishi Xpander 7-seater MPV has been launched in Malaysia. This time around, the facelifted Mitsubishi Xpander bring on a revised exterior, a more updated interior as well as more features. The Mitsubishi Xpander now is available in two trim levels, which is the base Xpander as well as the Xpander Plus. Prices for the Xpander starts with the base model coming in at 99,980 ringgit, while the top spec Xpander Plus comes in at 109,980 ringgit. Okay guys, so I am currently sitting in the new Mitsubishi Xpander. This is the first impression and drive. So the Mitsubishi Xpander in Malaysia has gone through some facelift. Okay, so the one I'm driving right now is the Xpander Plus model. So a quick run through of the spec. So between the Xpander Plus and the Xpander base model, okay, so for the Plus model, you're getting leather seats. Okay, the base car is using fabric. So the one that I'm driving now is using leather seat with quilted stitching, quite nice, diamond quilted stitching. And then you do have a dash cam. Part of the Plus trim level is the dash cam, which include both the front and rear camera, right? And also inside here for the Plus model, you are given a wireless phone charger, whereas the base car is not available lah. On the outside, to differentiate between the base and the Plus model, the first thing that you see is the rear spoiler. So for the Plus model, there's this big rear spoiler that is painted in black. So that is the number one visual differentiator lah. And then another thing that you can see that all the plastic trim of the exterior for the Plus model is painted in silver, whereas the base model car is not painted, it's the plastic matte color lah. Okay, so what is my impression like driving the new Xpander? So the Xpander here in Malaysia for the facelifted model continue on using the 1.5 liter MyVec engine, 4-cylinder petrol, and it is paired to the 4-speed automatic transmission. Okay, so Mitsubishi Malaysia, I know in outside market there is a CVT available, but Mitsubishi Malaysia has chose to opt with the 4-speed automatic. Now, it's not to say that the 4-speed automatic is a carry-over unit. It is carried-over unit, but with tuning. Okay, upon this car, the first thing I noticed compared to the old Xpander is how smooth the new gear change is for this new Xpander. It's very seamless. The word that I will use is very buttery. Sangat-sangat smooth. Okay? And then the response of this 4-speed automatic as well, from a standstill, upon mashing the throttle, you do get a slight surge of power moving forward. It kind of makes the car feel very light. Okay, it's not like it feels like you're not driving an MPV. Okay, the response is very good. Okay, so looking at the interior of the Xpander, they did do some improvement with the dashboard. The newer car now have this sort of like soft touch material on the dashboard with stitching, and I love the color that they choose is sort of like this dark brown color, which does make the interior look very upscale, very atas like that, you know. And then inside here, I would say the improvement is a lot, how to say, more towards the refinement and comfort. When I say comfort, this one, the armrest. So the old Xpander, if you remember, it doesn't have any armrest. Okay, it has that slider thing. This one, not only the armrest is huge, it is covered in leather. Okay, and then the height of the armrest is very nice. It's very high up. So I do, what do you call this? If I rest my elbow on the armrest, I can still touch the steering wheel. So on long distance journey, I feel quite relaxed. And it feels the same way for the right side as well. So if I'm driving on a long distance journey, I want to rest both my left and right elbow. It is quite the same height. So I do have a symmetrical feeling. Okay, so that is good lah, right? Inside here, they have eliminated the original parking brake. It's the traditional type. I do have some of my friends who owns the older version of this car. They did complain that the handbrake is quite big. and it takes a lot of space. So I'm happy to report that Mitsubishi Malaysia has listened to those inputs from the customer and put in electronic parking brake. The switch is just right next to the shifter, and I have to say it clears out a lot of space. That Mitsubishi also decided to put 2 big size cup holder. Okay, so this center console I think is very practical. Okay, you have an armrest, you have a big cup holder, and then not only that, you have a big space underneath the aircon switch. Okay, so this center console is quite practical for me. Not only that, speaking of that aircon switch, so the old car is using that 3 rotary knob, so the new car has been updated. Okay, I do love this toggle switch design to control the fan speed as well as the temperature. It does, in a way, makes it feel a bit more atas lah, a bit more premium. Even the button underneath it, it feels high quality. It feels quite modern. Okay, on top of it, I do have this touchscreen. Okay, it's semi-floating design. Okay, and I do like that it looks quite clean. Okay, not a lot of big bezel, and the touchscreen, infotainment system for the top spec model, it houses the 360-degree camera. So only for the Xpander Plus, the top spec, you have 360 camera. The base car, you are only having rear backup camera, but it's still a very decent and a very big backup camera. In terms of driving ergonomics, personally, when I got into this car, it feels like I'm entering an SUV rather than an MPV. I feel like I'm entering a crossover. So this is due to, in part, that Mitsubishi Malaysia with this facelift has increased the ground clearance. Okay, previously it was less than 200 mm. Now it is rated at 225, which is the same as Pro 2 Arus and Toyota Rush. Okay, so in a way, the Xpander has grown up to be somewhat of a crossover SUV vibe. Okay, and from inside here, I am sitting slightly higher than a traditional MPV. Okay, so that's good lah for those of you who's always traveling in area where there has a lot of flash flood. So the extra ground clearance can make you either get stuck in a flood or go through the flood. You know, the 1.5 liter Mavic engine. Okay, this is a family car. Okay, so family car, you're not gonna need so much horsepower to drive very fast. Okay, you want to bring your family in a safe, controlled speed manner. Okay, with that being said, the 1.5 liter engine, I think the power is quite decent. Okay, with that 4-speed automatic transmission just now, from standstill, there is a good response from the engine, and I'm happy to report also, the engine sound is quite nice, very refined. It doesn't feel rough at all. Yeah. Okay, in terms of comfort in this car, the front seat here, I think no issue at all. It's quite supportive. I'm super comfortable in this seat. Second row as well, a lot of leg room, a lot of headroom is not an issue. The car punya greenhouse is quite big. I have so much headroom on top of my head. Okay, even in the third row, I'm happy to report that it is adult worthy, and even in the third row, you can adjust the angle of the back seat. Okay, in terms of the leg room, if you need more leg room for the third row, you can slide the second row seat to give you more leg room for the third row. So in terms of adjusting the seating position, this car is quite flexible. So if you adjust the second row forward, adults with long legs can actually sit in the third row. And in the third row also, it's not like you are, say, in a third class. No. So back there, you also have a power outlet. Okay, you have a water bottle punya place to put your water bottle, and then the roof of the car, there is a second row air ventilation, and the wind, if you put it under like full setting blower, the wind can reach all the way to the back. So the cabin with the aircon on and everything feels very airy and very not claustrophobic also, thanks in part to the headliner. Okay, the headliner is a lighter color, so it does make the cabin feel very roomy, bigger than what it is. So in terms of ride quality, okay, even though this Xpander now is equipped with a larger rim, it is now 17 inch, the previous car was 16 inch. But inside here, going over pothole, going over big angulation, the Xpander is very, very comfortable. I think the Xpander for a long distance car is gonna make a very good companion lah. Okay, the ride is very supple. It doesn't upset the car at all if you go over rough pavement or a big pothole, which is to me is a great attribute for a family car, because for a family car, your main purpose is to bring your family in comfort. So the Mitsubishi Xpander, I do have to address the elephant in the room. Yes, in terms of safety features, it is slightly behind its competitors. Okay, but it's not to say that the Xpander is completely kosong. No, you do have traction control, you do have anti-lock brakes, and then you do have dual airbags. Okay, so for the most part, I think the safety feature, as long as you drive carefully, okay, it all depends on how you drive on the road. If you drive recklessly, so that's up to you lah. But I think for the most family, if you need a family car that is roomy, value for money, and don't get me wrong, this car looks very stylish from the outside. The front end, the dynamic shield front end, I'm loving the new design. It makes the car looks very bold. Okay, with the 17-inch rim, I think it looks nice. The blade design of the rim, the back end, if you get the Plus model, the spoiler, I really like the spoiler. And then the tail lamp has that L-shaped LED. So I think overall the look of this car, it still look quite modern. Okay, still look quite modern. And then on the inside, it's roomy, a lot of aircon. Everybody in your sitting, the front row, second row, third row will have a lot of space. Not to mention, this car has a lot of space compartment. Okay, underneath the front seat, you do have that sort of like this bucket area. So maybe you can hide your shoes or your socks or whatever lah. In front of you, the glove box is huge. Yeah, it is huge. And not only that, on top of it, like outside the dashboard, you still have a place like a shelf to put whatever lah, your nooks and crannies. Okay, the door also, you do have this door cut down below. You can put bottles inside there. And then on top of being practical, I do find this cabin quite upscale looking. Okay, touch screen, soft touch material bound on the dashboard, on the door. Your armrest, left, right, also is what you call soft touch. So overall, inside here, despite its price point of around like 100,000 ringgit, I think the interior feels more expensive than it is. Okay, so overall, Xpander family on a budget, I think you should still consider this at the top of your choice. Okay. So yeah, the Xpander, I would say a very refined, a very roomy family MPV.